Lillard can want to go to Miami, that doesn't mean that's where he's actually going to be ended up getting traded to. Look, Damian Lillard does not have the leverage to force a trade to the Heat. So if you're the Blazers and you're going to grant this wish from Dame to trade him, you don't have to trade him to Miami. If you're Portland, all you have to worry about in this trade is doing what's best for you. Now, at the end of the day, if the best trade offer that fits your team going forward is from the Heat, okay, fine. Win-win. Dame gets what he wants. You get what you want. But first and foremost, you should be focused and prioritizing you, the organization, and what's best for you. So whatever team gives you the best trade offer for Damian Lillard, that's what you got to take. And if that means trading Dame to a team he doesn't want to go to, too bad. Sorry, Dame. You wanted your wish. We're granting it. We're trading you. But now at this point, we got to do what's best for us. We got to do what's best to set our organization up here going forward so we can be competitive and actually get to the NBA Finals, which is something, unfortunately, we could not do with you. That's what Portland has to prioritize here, is getting the trade offer that is best for them, not making Dame happy on the way out. So I don't really understand this thought out there that, oh, well, Dame said he wants to go to Miami. Sorry, Portland, you're screwed. Enjoy Tyler Hero. Enjoy a few other role players and some late round picks. That's what you're going to get. That's laughable. Portland's in the driver's seat here, not Lillard. I know we were all conditioned to think the NBA, it's a player-driven league, right? We've seen plenty of stars force their way out and force their way out to teams that they want to go to. Most recently, we saw Bradley Beal. Here's, though, why Lillard is not like Bradley Beal and not like other stars that have forced trades to teams they want to go to. What happens if the Sixers come calling and give the Blazers the best possible trade offer? What's Dame going to do? Is he going to sit out? Is he not going to play with the reigning MVP and Joel Embiid and play under a head coach, Nick Nurse, that won an NBA championship recently? Is he not going to do that? All the guys talked about is wanting to compete for a championship. If Philly puts the best offer on the table, is he really going to say, I'm not going there. I'm not going to play? He's under contract for 3 more years before he has a player option. Is he going to sit out 3 years because he doesn't want to go to Philly and then come back as a free agent at age 36? I don't think so. I think he's playing in Philly. I think he'll be pretty happy there. What if Boston comes calling? What if the Celtics say, you know what? We don't like this current core. We want to really kind of go all in on a player like Dame. Let's go make an offer. And what if that offer is the best Portland's got? Are you really going to tell me Lillard is going to say, no, I'm good, to playing with Jason Tatum and playing on a team that was in the NBA Finals 2 years ago and reached Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals this past year? You really think he's not going to go play with Jason Tatum and go play in Boston? I doubt it. What if the Clippers, another team reportedly interested in acquiring Dame, what if they call and you could pair Dame, well, I know they're injured, I get it, but you could pair Dame on paper with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, with the little sister of LA and the Clippers. Dame's going to say no? He's really going to say, I'm not going there. I don't think so. This is my point when it comes to leverage. We're all talking about contenders here, right? And Dame has talked about repeatedly wanting to compete for a championship. Just because he wants to go to Miami does not mean that's where the Trailblazers have to trade him to. If you have the Sixers sniffing around, if you have the Celtics interested, if you have the Clippers making calls, if you have the Nets, who arguably maybe have the most to trade, and you had Dame talk about how he's best friends with Mikal Bridges, if Brooklyn makes an offer, is Dame, after being on the record of talking about how Mikal is his guy and he'd love to play with him, is he really going to say then all of a sudden, no, I'm not going there? He's got no leverage. He's got no leverage. He's not going to pull a Harden. He's not going to show up to training camp in Boston or Philly or Brooklyn out of shape, overweight, trying to basically get himself cut the way Harden did in Houston before he eventually got his wish and was traded, Dame is going to play. And so if you're Portland, you got to do what's best for you. And that means getting the best possible trade return back. And if that's from Boston, if that's from Philly, so be it. Sorry, Dame. Sorry, buddy. We got to now focus on us. You want to focus on you and get a trade out of here? Okay, fine. But now it's our turn to be selfish and our turn to ensure when we lose a franchise-changing player like you, then we're not going to be reeling for the next 10 years. We're at least going to be put in a spot where if we get the right pieces in terms of young players and draft picks, we can maybe turn this ship faster around than we would have otherwise thought. Portland doesn't owe Damian Lillard anything when it comes to this trade. Like, they're going to do the bare minimum in terms of trading to a contender, and that's all they need to do, right? They're not trading him to the Spurs that are years away. They're not trading him to the Hawks that right now are kind of a mess and kind of directionless, or the Utah Jazz. Every team that's reportedly interested now, making a call, would maybe put a trade, proposal on the table. Every team in the mix for Damian Lillard reportedly is a contender. Every team he could possibly get traded to would be a legitimate championship contender and or even maybe the favorite in their conference if they acquire Dame. That's where the goodwill of Portland can stop. They're sending him to a contender. That's all they need to do. But I'm curious your thoughts here. 855-212-4227. Again, it's Ryan Hickey in for Zach Ellis. So if you can't call, tweet and Ryan_Hickey and the number 3. Do you think Dame has any leverage to actually force a trade to Miami? He wants to go to Miami. By all reports, that's the only team he's going to play for. But if you're Portland, why are you going to then acquiesce and trade Dame to really the team that offers the worst trade package in return? Like, we're talking about a Heat trade proposal that is centered around Tyler Hero. That's awful. That is an awful trade proposal. Not only is Tyler Hero, I think, okay, solid player, but nothing franchise changing. He plays the exact position that right now Portland has so much of. They have an excess of point guards. They have an excess of shooting guards. They don't need Hero. And by all reports you read and listen to already, if that trade was to go down, if eventually the Miami trade is the one that Portland accepts, they're going to reroute Hero to a third team. So he's not even going to be on the roster. If you're Portland, how can you accept a trade where the centerpiece of the trade is a guy that's not even going to be on your team? It makes no sense. So when you look around, if you're Joe Cronin, the Trailblazers GM, you're going to be making calls to other teams. You got to be doing your due diligence. Because I'll tell you what's a whole hell of a lot better than a Tyler Hero and a few draft picks trade coming back. The Sixers offer Tyrese Maxey. That's a trade package I am very much interested in if I'm the Blazers. If the Celtics offer Jaylen Brown and center their trade package around the All-NBA wing, I'm intrigued. I'm listening. Clippers, you have Terrence Mann, other pieces as well. They have a lot of good role depth, and especially wing players, that especially what Portland does need. We're talking about 3 teams here in the Clippers, Celtics, and Sixers, bare minimum, that can offer way more right now than Miami can. So why would Portland take the worst deal on the table? It doesn't make sense, and they should not do it. They owe it to themselves. They owe it to the fans. They owe it to the city to now cash in this asset in Lillard, who wants to leave, and get the best possible return to ensure their future is bright, to give this team a chance and reason to hope now going forward. Not to just make nice with Dame, give him a little pat on the tush as he's leaving town and say, oh, we love you, man. Good luck in Miami. It's business. And you owe it to the fans, you owe it to everyone else around you within that Portland Trail Blazers organization to where if Dame wants to leave, fine. We will trade you, and we will trade you to a contender. But we don't got to trade you to the contender of your choice. And I don't think if at the end of the day when push comes to shove and these Celtics truly make an offer that's better than Miami, if these Sixers right now make an offer that's better than what the Heat are throwing out there. If the Clippers, if the Nets, you name it, if there's a deal on the table to a contending team that beats right now what the Heat are trying to offer, if you are Portland, you got to take it. You owe it to yourself to make now your team better and use Lillard as a chance to reset and kind of catapult yourself now going forward. So we've been told, we've been conditioned to think the NBA is a player-driven league. And again, a lot of the times we've seen that come to fruition. This specific case, though, when it comes to Damian Lillard and his future going forward, I don't think Dame has a lot of leverage. I don't think he's going to sit out if he's traded to Boston. I don't think he's going to gain weight and tank if he's traded to Philly and given no choice but to cut him. He's not going to pull a James Harden and be a bad guy. He's not going to pull a Kyrie Irving and be a mega distraction off the court where it's just at this point, all right, screw, we got to get rid of this guy. It's just better to not have him on our team than get anything back at all. He's not going to do what some stars have done to get their way, which is why if you are Portland and you have a legitimate offer on the table from a team not named Miami, you take it. Dame does not have leverage here to force a trade to Miami. Portland should do what's best for them. And that is take the best possible trade offer, even if it's coming from a team not named the Miami Heat.